I like my video games digital, and my video game soundtracks about as analog as you can get. Gaming vinyl is a bit of a pastime here in the Zician household, so if you are anything like me, with an embarrassing amount of video game tracks overflowing your Spotify playlists, well, you're in the right place. So have a seat fireside, grab your favorite mug of hot cider, and throw that needle on the platter, because here are 5 of my favorite and most valuable video game vinyl soundtracks. Streets of Rage 2. Streets of Rage 2 needs little, if any, introduction. A beat-em-up initially released in 1992, it has been a top jewel in the Genesis/Mega Drive crown. The soundtrack was composed primarily by Yuzo Koshiro, with contributions from Motohiro Kawashima. It's heavily influenced by house, as well as hardcore techno and numerous breakbeats. It was an incredible revolution at the time, and 30 years later, it is just as listenable as it ever has been. Beautiful synth work alongside grooving drums, gorgeous textured pads, and bass lines to get your booty moving. Most of these songs would have fit right in at your local discotheque. Cuphead. Now, Cuphead is hard as hell, and so is this soundtrack. A hand-drawn, 30s-styled boss rush that will punish you, take a dump on your grave, and then dig you up to do it all over again. This tough-as-nails game needed a great soundtrack because you'll be hearing these songs a lot. Composed by Christopher Madigan, this OST includes nearly 3 hours of music, played entirely by live musicians. I unfortunately was not able to get the 5 LP version of the soundtrack, but the version I have included some never-before-heard tracks, so I can't say I lost out too badly. The genres on this OST are numerous: big band, ragtime, bebop, and a bit of Latin jazz to keep things interesting. This game's music is truly a work of art. The sound is varied with solo piano pieces, a 13-piece big band, and the queen, Alana Bridgewater, who sings Mr. King Dice. When I found out it was a woman singing this song, I was really blown away. The swing, the liveliness, and the natural live sound is one you don't get too often in a video game. One of my favorite recent releases, and one of the best soundtracks to boot. Celeste. Celeste rocks. I mean, literally, you're climbing a mountain. Well, you're climbing your depression and anxiety, doubts and panic attacks, metaphorically with a mountain, but well, you know. Another hellscape of difficulty, this platforming gauntlet's primary saving grace while you fall to your death hundreds of times is the soundtrack. Unlike the last game we covered with dozens of musicians involved, this game was handled by just one person, Lena Raine. This is more of the video game music we've come to expect, with dynamic synth lines, drum and bass, and arpeggios that mimic the on-screen action. Every screen of this game can feel like another section of the music, or even another song entirely. Now, Lena is one of those creators I think of whenever I sit down and create music myself, with Resurrection standing as one of the most dramatic and moving pieces of music I've ever heard in a video game. Fun anecdote via the internet, Quiet and Falling included mumblings from Raine herself inside a dark closet, vocalizing the main character Madeline's struggle with her own mental health. It just truly gives me chills every time. This is a game you have to play, and you have to listen to this soundtrack. Top 10 all time for both. Katamari Damacy. Now, Katamari Damacy is a game that just really can't be explained. You have to see it to believe it. You play a rectangular-headed prince, tasked with rolling everything up into a ball and blasting it into the sky because your dad is a drunk. Yeah, don't ask me any questions. Katamari is like playing with a toy, and its soundtrack is just as playful as its gameplay. It's not afraid to roll between genres and stands as one of the more eclectic and weird pieces within my video game vinyl collection. Whether it's jazzy, big band numbers, hardcore, electronica, J-pop, or these insane vocal a cappella harmony groups, Katamari truly has something for everyone. The OST won its share of awards, including from both IGN and GameSpot for Soundtrack of the Year in 2004, and boy, does it deserve it. A beautifully weird game from top to bottom, this soundtrack is not one to miss. Persona 5. And here it is, the last surprise. Persona 5 is possibly the most beloved entry in a beloved franchise of JRPGs that suggests you take your time, as it takes all of yours. A sprawling epic, Persona 5 finds you in the shoes of the Phantom Thieves and is one of the most stylish video games you'll ever get to play. The game might have style, but this music is even slicker. I only have to say 2 words to make anyone in the know go absolutely crazy. Last surprise. I mean, if you're gonna play a goddamn 100+ hour JRPG, that main battle theme better slap, and this might be the greatest battle theme ever laid to wax. The elements of acid jazz, first appearing in Persona 3, are fully developed and slap you right in the face. Meguro spent over 3 years putting the soundtrack together, and the polish shows in every piece. Warm Fender Rhodes, bright and buoyant guitars, jazz forward bass lines that walk all over the track at a blistering pace, and pocket drumming that makes me absolutely envious. The variations on similar themes throughout really make this whole project feel as a single whole. My absolute largest set of vinyl at 5 LPs and 3+ hours of music, it is infinitely re-listenable. The music is so good, I've considered getting Persona 5 Royal just to hear the new tunes, but my word, 130 more hours just, it ain't happening. A masterpiece of a soundtrack as well as a game, and the feather in my video game vinyl cap. Thanks for watching. Click here for more of The Gamersician, and if you enjoy great video game music, check me out on all streaming services under The Gamersician. Peace.